Hey there, it's Melissa, and today I have a layout that I'm making, and I have this beautiful butterfly paper. This is one of the 4x6 cards, but what Renelle does is cuts them from the 12x12 paper. So essentially it's a 4x6 card from this piece of paper. So this paper has all the butterflies, and I've been putting off using it because I absolutely loved this side as well, but I've decided to go with fussy cutting these. And you would have seen at the beginning a photo of, or not a photo, a picture of a swarm of butterflies, and so that's my inspiration for this piece. And what I'm thinking is using these photos, and I love the way this is Ava, baby Ava, she's looking up in the photo, and the light's not great because it's in the bathroom. Brielle was having a bath, and we just put her, well, I put her in the bouncer, so she was near me. But I love the way she's looking up. Now, I'm not sure if I'll use both of these photos or not, but definitely that one. And what I'm thinking is having the butterflies swarm around her. So I just wanted to pop on and show you before I fussy cut out, because it's going to take me a bit to fussy cut these. And I'm not going to do that on camera, I don't think, because you don't really need to see it. The other thing I've got that I haven't used, I don't think I've used it, is this Kaisercraft floral wallpaper stamp, and I think that came in the colour kit, and so I need to make an effort. I like to try and use everything in the kit, so I want to use that. I may use some of this gold paint as well, and I've also got this iridescent spray ink and peach, which I want to use again. Yeah, I may even dip into these, excuse my hands. So I keep everything we get in the colour kits together, and I think some of these would go quite well as well. So I've got all of them. So, oh, that's Heidi Swap, that's not from there, but tinsel, I may actually pull that one in because black I think would be too intense. I'm not sure what colour ink I'm going to use on this one yet, but could be black. If I go with black, then I will use the black Heidi Swap. But that's my thoughts for this layout, so I will turn off the camera, go away and cut these out and come back and make my layout. So I'll be back for you soon, but it's more likely to be probably with school holidays. Probably take me about an hour to do that. Cool. So as you can see, I cut out all of the butterflies on the paper, and I cut out the butterflies on that 4x6 card as well. I even got my husband to cut a few out, and while I wasn't looking, my 3-year-old got into them, and she kind of cut a couple out and got my double-sided tape and stuck them together. So anyway, I don't have a shortage of butterflies. I actually went way overboard. I didn't need to cut as many. I probably could have cut half of this and still had some left over. But anyway, I didn't know at the time, and I'm sure I'll use them for something else. So right now I'm just positioning the butterflies in that swarm effect. And because Ava's looking up in that photo, that second photo, I want it to look like she's looking at the butterflies. And I've put a doily underneath, and now I'm just trimming this chipboard wreath, but I don't end up using it, and I wish I had have used it, but I think if I had not used the doily I would have used it. But anyway, I will also use that for something else. I didn't want to cut that part out. I wanted you to see kind of my thought process. So these are the cut aparts from the Cocoa Vanilla collection. I haven't mentioned this is my Belle kit, and it features Cocoa Vanilla Studios' Wild at Heart collection, which is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just cutting a couple of them out. I probably wouldn't use them for anything else this low in the kit. I've probably nearly killed this kit actually. I think I could make maybe 2 more layouts. And I'm just going to use the pattern on the back, the chevrons, just to cut that piece of floral down. And I just want these to be layering pieces underneath my photos. I did freehand cut that piece of the floral, and then I'm using my Stampin' Up! Scallop punch, which is really, really old, just to have a little bit of interest on the border. And then I'm just going to work out the positioning of these photos with my papers, and then I'll position my doily as well. I think, yeah, I decided at this point that I needed another piece of paper, and I'm just trimming off the edges here where I hadn't cut so straight, and the choice was between the B side, which is that pink chevron, or I much preferred the white with the greeny tealy polka dots. So I'm liking that position. I'm just using my stapler now to staple them together. And like I said, that includes the doily as well. And then I just trimmed off a bit of the doily that I didn't want it to be seen on the edge of these papers. I just wanted the doily to be seen on the top and bottom. And then I'm just using my fingers and bending up the paper. Some of them I'm kind of ripping and creasing. And at this point I realised I needed to add some glue under my doily. These doilies they're fragile. I mean, they're not really fragile, but they're certainly not as strong as paper. So I've just added a bit of liquid adhesive to make sure it's stuck, because that will be the anchoring point for this entire stack. So positioning my photo and using some craft foam on the back. Now these photos were taken, I don't know if I said it at the beginning, they were taken in the bathroom, so the lighting was pretty horrible, but I just loved them so much and I wanted to scrap them. They're not perfect. I think I took them on my phone as well, which is why they're not that great. And the colouring is a bit weird. Her skin is quite dark, but it's not that dark. So that's why they look a bit funny with the yellow tones. Anyway, I've used liquid adhesive on my craft foam. I don't normally do that, but I found this one's really good and it works. Now I'm pushing off all those butterflies. I was going to put that strip of blue at the top like a sky, but in the end I decided I would wait because I wanted to do these splatters, and this is just with the mist that came in the colour kit. I would have said the name of it at the beginning of this video. So I'm just wanting to splatter them round in a sort of a semicircle, and that will be the general direction of the butterflies. And now I'm using that Kaisercraft stamp that I showed you at the beginning. I've got the gold paint, and I had this idea of stamping with the gold paint, and I didn't practice, you're just seeing it as it happens. And when I turn this over, it's quite clumpy, so I'm getting a craft stick and just rubbing it over, and I'm hoping that the floral pattern will appear on the paper when I put it back down, cardstock. And it didn't. And you'll see I kind of hesitated after this and thought, well, you don't see it because I cut it out, but I hesitated and thought, what am I going to do? And I just decided I'm going to go with it and add some texture behind my photo cluster. So it's quite thick acrylic paint, and I will put it aside to dry. I wanted to make sure that it could be seen behind my photo, otherwise it's just, there's no point doing it. So just added a bit more and even more. So I end up being really happy with this, but at the time I thought, no, it's not really working. I fussy cut out one of these clusters of flowers, really pretty, and I'm glad I've done it because that paper is, as you can see, that's all I've got left. It's nearly gone. And I decided to trim that flower off there because I'm going to tuck it behind the top right corner of my photo. It's quite a big cluster of flowers. I wasn't sure at the time, but looking at my layout at the end, I'm happy with it. Did think about adding that little tag. I've tried to get that on several layouts, but I can't. So if I make another one, I'll try again. And now I'm just going through the embellishments that I pulled for this page. I like to make it easier for myself by limiting myself to a certain number rather than just having everything there. These are embellishments from the ephemera pack. And then I've got the sticker sheet has lots of words or phrases on it, and I end up using several of them in this layout, on this layout. That was the chipboard sheet which I was looking at, trying to work out if there's anything there I wanted to add to this cluster. And in the meantime, I'm just getting my double-sided tape on that doily. I'm trying to position that rubber charm, but because I've put the words on top, the sticker words, it's not going to work up there anymore. So this was nearly dry. It wasn't perfectly dry, but I couldn't wait. I needed to get on because the light is so horrible here in winter. So I've used double-sided tape and liquid adhesive. That's because of that paint behind my cluster. And I've just used liquid adhesive for this floral cluster as well. And I'm just popping up some of the edges with Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I like the way that they assist with that. And I bent up the edges of those flowers as well. So I knew I wanted to use that Love You for my title. It's really beautiful. And the way that I position it with the love at the top and the U on the bottom, you can see the ombre effect, that both words are different tones of the pinky peach colour. And I've used liquid adhesive as well as the adhesive that's already on them. Here's a tip: if your glue goes over, you can just grab a piece of scrap cardboard or paper and just scrape it off on the edges of the chipboard. And now for the super quick, if only it was this quick, repositioning of all the butterflies. So I position them all, and then I think you'll see me glue them. I'm not showing the entire process because it did take a bit of time. I just wanted the swarm to start with less, build up, and then at the top left have less as well. So I just glued them with liquid adhesive in the middle. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know that I like to put pop dot on one side of the wing, but for this one I didn't. I just left it. I didn't want to use that much what am I trying to say? I did not want to use that many pop dots. I wanted to just let these be a bit more freer, and I think in the album I don't overload my album, so they will stay up anyway. So then I went through the sticker sheet again and I found some more phrases and words, and I've just positioned them throughout. I have added a flare badge which says Dream Big, and also that rubber charm at the top as well. So now I'm adding my journaling just underneath the doily. I did struggle with where to put it. It's not a huge amount of journaling, but it just tells how I felt when I took the photos. And that is nearly pretty much my layout. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you can be inspired to create from an image that you find, whether it be on Pinterest or somewhere on the internet. Just adding a final word, and that is my layout. So thank you so much for watching. I'll be back next week either with another layout or project with my Belle kit, or I will have the new kit here. Take care.